Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast,
where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for. Here we are, episode 10.
Yeah.
The Italian invasion.
I found this episode boring.
Well,
boring.
Here's the thing.
Boring.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's one of those episodes that has to happen because you have to do the travel, you have to do the setup of the rooms, and then you'll get into the crux of it.
Did they have to waste so much time in the beginning with the bougie boutique? They could have cut that down. Honestly, everything before that, this could have been entirely a traveling episode.
I mean,
they could have.
I think it should have.
I really even struggled to come up with thoughts and opinions.
And here's the thing. Well, I don't know if it could have actually, because well, unless you just cut that out like you said. But the way they're telling these stories going into this, if you're listening to what they're saying, like in catching the days, like they're referencing things like yesterday, the day before yesterday. Like these events are not like how they used to be where they were like once a week you had something, once a week you had something. Like these events are happening like back to back, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
Like whenever they did that other thing.
You know what? They might have been trying to get it all in because they knew they wanted to stop filming at Teresa's wedding.
I don't know.
Where if Teresa's wedding wasn't there in now like a week or two, right? They probably would have kept filming post that time, but now instead they're gonna end it right before her wedding so that her wedding can be the special.
Because the event before this was what, the cup reading?
Yeah.
That sounded like that was maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday, and this bougie thing was or that was on a Friday and it happened on I don't know, but it sounds like this bougie thing was the next day when she was talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because she said something about yesterday. How did you feel yesterday? And then I think Jennifer Aiden also referenced like, oh, were you upset yesterday when we told you about the, they just kept doing that. So I'm like, okay, so this event was clearly just...
Before we get into it, we'll do a quick little Bravo News thing here. Melissa Gorga was on Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah.
She was saying that Andy was too harsh on her.
So I got the full thing on that. She didn't actually say it, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Marge texted in and said she was being too...
She was going back at him, supposedly, or something.
He wasn't being too hard on her, and she was answering the questions. He was asking her the questions, and she was keeping up with it. I don't know why Marge thought he was going. And Joe Gorga yelled from the audience, no, answer them questions, honey. You answer them questions. Like, he wasn't really asking her anything bad. I guess
whatever I don't know if... I also saw someone say the after
I was, like,
show,
waiting
so maybe
for
it was on the after show.
I listened to that, too. They played that on the podcast.
Oh, I don't know.
No, it was... He said to her in the end, do you think I was being too hard on you? And she said, no, not really. I mean, you were asking questions. And he's like, well, there are questions that people want to know. And,
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't care. She goes, I'll answer it. His main thing was, he said, we have the reunion in a week. He goes, and I honestly don't know where to go with this with you guys. He says, because I feel like there's nothing I'm going to say. There's nothing I'm going to do to get a resolution out of this. Yeah. He goes, I feel like you have this strange calmness over you that you guys are just okay now. Like, you're okay with how this is. He goes, and I mean, and she said, yeah, we're kind of done with it. Like, because...
Well, I think that's the issue with, like, Melissa's, like, when you're watching the season, you see that she's already come to that, like...
Yeah, she's done.
Peace level, where I think now Teresa, after the wedding, is getting there, maybe? I don't really know. I don't really keep up with Teresa. But people are saying that... See, here's the thing. Some people were like, okay, she's right for everything she's saying on the show, on Watch What Happens Live. And then there was people that obviously like Teresa, and they're like, no, she's being a baby or whatever. But then there were people that someone said she should have been careful trying to say anything to Andy because they know that he gives Teresa basically an unlimited hall pass. She can kind of do or say whatever she wants, and she won't.
Yeah, but he likes Joe Gorga.
Yeah.
So that's the only good thing is that he does like Joe Gorga, and like I don't think he dislikes Melissa, but I don't think he likes Teresa in the respect that he lets her get away with anything because he has called her out in the past on things, but I think he just finds her amusing. I think he finds her amusing. I think he knows she's good TV.
But I'm still going with my thing. They should make almost like a Kardashian style for her and her family instead. Because I just think she would benefit. Even in this, she doesn't seem interested in this drama. No. Also, Dolores says that she is taking the Opazemic.
Yeah, she's taking it, yeah.
No, but she said she's taking it because she's going through menopause, has a thyroid issue, inflammation, and weight is hard to get off. That's the reason she said she's personally taking it.
Yeah.
Well, even though it says
I'm not doing that
for type 2
and I'm
diabetes.
losing weight, so you should not be doing that. I don't think anybody should be on that medicine.
Two little things about Caroline Manzo here. She also said that before Melissa had joined the show when she was there with Teresa, that like Teresa tried to ingrain in all their heads, Melissa's a bad person. Don't talk to Melissa.
That's known.
So she said that she was trying to make that end. Last week we theorized about her maybe coming back. She said after what happened on the Ultimate Girls trip, she is done for good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So so our little theory last week of her coming back, definitely a no. All right, well that's all I had. Just figured since we talked about a lot of that stuff last week.
Well, speaking of Melissa, I mean, it kind of starts with Melissa and her setting up for the pop-up for Danielle.
Which is a pop-up. It's a pop-up.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's a little, like, Danielle woke up, popped up, and that was it. Like, there was no sign that said bougie kids. There didn't even seem like there was any something outside,
but, like, they should have had something. Yeah, well, she did. She promoted it once on social media.
On her Instagram story. But besides that, that's in the moment. That doesn't really give anybody time to
But that's the one that we don't know. It could have been posted. Like, see, that's a problem with some of this stuff is, like, you don't know if she posted something in her stories prior. No, I know, but I feel like she should have had a
sign, at least on her rack, saying bougie kids, because
I noticed that she didn't have a sign. She had cards or something that she was handing out.
No, I know, but I'm saying so to walk over to that rack and see what it is.
Well, I think that's what Melissa's job was. She was kind of like telling everybody, yeah, come on in, shop around. Or Jennifer Aiden shows up. I love the like shot of her walking down the street, like she really parked like a block away or something. I don't know, but she immediately brings up the whole bridesmaid thing.
Well, yeah, because she didn't get what she wanted last week.
She wanted her to get really upset, and she didn't get that, and she kept forcing it, and she's like, oh, you're not upset, and like, she's like, no, and she's like, well, you wouldn't change your mind, and she's like, about what? She's like, about being a bridesmaid, and Melissa's like, absolutely not, and I don't blame her either. I would not want to be a bridesmaid at all, and I think she did her a favor by not making her a bridesmaid, but...
Well, and even Jennifer was like, oh, you know, in her sit-down, she was like, oh, something about, like, she's sad about this, or something like Melissa's sad about this. No. Why doesn't she want to fix this? Here's my thing, though.
She says, if someone's giving you an olive branch, why are you breaking it?
But here's my thing. You can be sad about the situation and not want to fix it because
sometimes
it's not going to fix. No. So, I don't know. But honestly, I will say, I kind of like Jennifer Aiden this episode. She was kind of funny.
She was.
Like in Ireland, she's pretty good.
Funny.
She's a little redeeming because I'm not the biggest fan of her.
I think she's finding out. I think if she keeps on this trajectory, I think she's figuring out how to be a liked villain.
Yeah, I think she could be.
And that's the smartest thing is if you can figure out how to be. That's what Bethany Frankel did. She and like all the other ones, there's some that learned how to be a likable villain. Yeah. If you can figure that out, you got it made. But
yeah, no, because she was funny. I really think if she can pull herself from Teresa, she'll be better.
Well, I don't think Teresa's helping her.
No, Teresa's not helping her.
And I think we
see that.
No, but I think she thinks that it is, and it's not. And she should really, I definitely agree. She should step away.
I think if she distanced herself, I think she'd be. I don't know. She was. I felt like a little bit more distance from Teresa in this episode. Even though she was causing trouble, I was like, some of the stuff she was saying was funny. So I'll give her that.
So when she realizes that she's not going to get the rise out of Melissa that she likes, in walks Danielle, who still is obsessing over the same damn thing. Rachel, let it go. That's where I'm going to start to not like her.
She said the exact, did you notice what she said in her sit down? Or I don't know if she said it in the sit down. Either way, she said it. She said, I will forgive, but I won't forget. And who said that? Teresa. So... if they did intentionally cast Rachel and Danielle to be the replacement Teresa and Melissa, they're doing pretty damn well.
I think so, really. God. Oh my God.
They now, even if you were just going on the fact that like Danielle's story was kind of the same, guess what? Now Danielle and Rachel are fighting just like Teresa and Melissa.
What she said was not even that bad to be like acting
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it was that bad, but before you know it, we have the little packing montage.
Yeah.
And you feel like, okay, here we go. But they really didn't last that long on the... Well, they gave a little snippet to the bougie, whatever, boutique, whatever the hell it is, bougie kid thing. They went right into watching... Which I think they're trying to make them look like some cutesy couple. And they really just look silly, in my opinion, Teresa and Louis. Like, they're like, oh, I'm packing. And he's like, oh, well, don't pack any bathing suits because it's cold and stuff. And he does that stupid, creepy laugh that I'm like...
But the best part is they get there in the hotel. Did you notice that Rachel was like, oh my God, it's so hot. I can't do it without the AC. Maybe she should have packed a couple bathing suits to sleep in. It sounds like it's hot there.
I thought about that. Like watching them drive up to this castle, whatever, where they're staying. I'm thinking to myself, don't don't see any power lines. So how is that happening? There must be a generator. There must be something that powers this joint.
I don't know.
So I was like, clearly lights were on and there was electricity running through it. But I'm like, is it enough for like air conditioning? Or is it just a generator that powers like lights and such? And I don't know. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't really know. Because if you think about it, OC, which they set such high standards for an Ireland trip. But when you think about it, they were in like a hotel castle.
Yeah.
So they were not, like, they were in a castle, but it was also part
I also
hotel.
don't think they were as far out as this looked like they were.
Yeah.
This looked like they were far out there.
No, but they were in a, because I know they had like a hotel lobby in there. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, OC was definitely more not, I guess, in the situation that they're in. And I will say, in the packing with Teresa and Louis, she mentioned something about saying that Louis is acting different or something like that.
Well, they go back to it when they go back and forth. Like then they show Marge packing, then they show Rachel and John Fuda, who I do think is like the cutest couple. I think they are the cutest. And then of course it goes to because I think they try to constantly bring like as if they're having conversations together, but it's two separate things.
Yeah.
Because then they go on to Dolores, Dolores is in charge this season. She better be sitting next to Andy because I think she is.
Oh, I think she will.
I think she's.
I think it's going to be her and Teresa because Teresa's just the OG, so
I think she's the
there.
runner.
But I think Dolores will be right there.
She's there with Paulie's brother David, I think it was, and they're visiting from Ireland. Him and his wife.
That's his parents.
No, I think that's his brother.
I thought that was his parents.
No, that's his brother. I'm pretty sure it said Paul's brother.
Okay.
It looked a little young to be his brother.
I thought it was the mother at least.
No, that's the wife of the one that came with him.
My bad. I told you I was bored.
Well, they come over and they start talking about that she's going over to Ireland to party and he's coming over here to see David. And she obviously set up the whole, I wrote Paulie's brother. That
doesn't mean it's right just because you wrote it.
It's a DOS. She set up the whole trip and she picked the castle and all like that. And she's telling them that they told, I guess they are aware of what she does and who she is in a little bit.
Yeah.
So they told her, like, listen, just make sure that they know if they start out fighting and end up fighting, everybody will be fighting with them in the bar. If they start out singing and cheering and all, then everybody will be singing and cheering along with them. Whatever they're doing is what's going to escalate. So just tell them to keep that in mind. And then the girlfriend or the wife actually makes a joke of like, maybe they should have like plastic cups or something.
Yeah.
Which I'm sorry. I think Dolores' scenes are so funny. She's just really cute with this whole thing. It's just like really cute. And then it goes back to, then they show Melissa and Marge. They're talking about coffee cups.
Yeah, they're talking about the readings. Because Joe asked Melissa,
well, Joe asked
Melissa what was Teresa's.
Yeah, they were going back and forth.
Reading?
And yeah.
No.
What was her reading? And she said she wasn't there because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then Marge is telling her husband Bill about like if she didn't use my exact word, which I thought was which I do think was very weird. If she had said money's coming your way or something different, she should have. I don't know what made her ever use that word, but I mean, it was very odd. They go back to what you were saying with Louis.
Yeah, I got confused because they do all that.
He starts talking because, of course, he's got to bring it up because he understands where he's at. He understands the assignment, as they would say. He starts talking about Joe and how, you can't do anything because Joe and Melissa, they go right into this, like, heavy drama and all this, like, craziness and all
and
like that.
And that's where in her sit-down, I think she goes, I've seen a shift in Louis.
Yeah.
But the question is the shift actually just him slowly revealing his true self? Is that what the shift is? I think she means
he's like, not that he's sad, but like he's hurt. I think that's what she was talking about, where I feel like we're seeing a shift in him and it ain't that. We're seeing a different person.
We're seeing the true
and that's
possible him.
What Melissa kind of said on Watch What Happens. Andy Cohen said something about Louis and, they did get along and things were very different and are you sorry you didn't like stick around to work things out? And Melissa said, listen, it's not about working things out anymore because he's the one that if you watch these episodes, you see him instigating. Yeah. So he's obviously not trying to work things out.
Which is only going to make it worse now that they see because
when we left, we saw that he called us, dramatic and this and that. We run off and stomp our feet or whatever we do. She's like, so how is that helping to work things out?
No, but what I was saying also is it's not just that, but like, it is worse that he's saying these comments, but when he comes up to you and he's trying to make peace with you, he's also trying to be like, I'm not involved in this. But then clearly, we know you are.
He's ridiculous.
And my thing is...
don't trust him at all.
Also, Teresa goes, oh, and I feel so bad for Louis because he's out money. Either sell the damn pizza ovens or return the pizza ovens.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where are they that you lost them? I get maybe the boxes, like no one's gonna be able to really reuse those boxes, but sell the pizza ovens or put the pizza ovens in the boxes and sell them, girl.
Yeah, sell them as skinny pizza. Just do whichever they're yours, obviously, I guess. So who
there's
cares
somebody who has these pizza ovens. Sell them. Get rid of them. I don't know.
Sometimes I think Bill is crazy with Jennifer Aiden because she's still talking to him about the therapist and going on this trip and how she's not going to talk to Margaret and blah blah blah. And Bill's like, she's like, so did you think that the therapy was good or that it was helpful? And he kind of was like,
he didn't say anything. I noticed that he barely spoke words. He just smiles and nods.
He said, yeah, I think it was helpful. I want to know what the hell he's doing in that pool house.
Yeah, because she's really making it seem like he's
spending hours and hours.
How big is this pool house?
It's big. It's pretty decent. It's a nice size that you could easily stay there by yourself if nobody was going to come and bother you. Adequate for us. It would probably be bigger and more space than we needed. They showed it one time.
I think it's bigger than our current apartment.
Yeah.
Cooper said no, but oh my god.
Yeah, no, I think so. Or at least thereabouts. But like that's what she was trying to get him to say.
Does the Wi-Fi even reach out to the pool house? What is he doing?
I'm sure he's probably got his own
He's
Wi-Fi.
probably just sitting in there sleeping.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell he would be doing in there, but he should be performing more surgeries, I would think, as a plastic surgeon. But I mean, he probably just wants his alone time because of working so much.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
have to keep that in mind. If he is working all day, basically cutting these people's faces, possibly
he probably is just trying to.
He's probably just exhausted. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, Jennifer, I did say you were funny in this episode, but you got a lot of energy coming off of you, girl. That I feel like if you're not prepared for that, it's a lot of frantic energy. That could be a lot. Like, I feel her frantic energy through the TV. I don't do well with frantic energy.
No. And she's very like that.
She's very like,
yeah, but like, I'm sorry. She sets him up. Like, she's like, oh, are you going to spend time with the kids this weekend or with this week or whatever while I'm gone? And he's like, he was trying to be funny. He's like, your kids? She's like, or my kids or something like that. And she's like, our kids. But she does these things to, I think, like, tick him off.
Yeah.
And then, like, she threatens him by saying, we need to go to therapy and make this work because, you're in it for the long haul for forever. And I'm like, oh God, now she's threatening him. So now Dolores is, which I love Dolores. I'm not going to lie, but she took the best part of the trips away by settling up the rooms, man.
No. She said that because this is her trip,
no, I know she's going to get, yeah, no, that part, I'm all fine with.
Then she gave Teresa the second best because it's the bridal.
But then they picked out of her hat for the other ones. I'm like, come on. Yeah. And here's the thing is, like, I feel like she didn't get the best room. I feel like Jennifer Aiden got the best room with the bathroom and all. But that huge-ass bathroom. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Where is that coming from? The wall or the hallway?
It sounds like someone screaming, help me.
Guys, this is the second podcast that we've had to do this. Just like our other podcast, and then we talk about it all. It's the little baby boy who we've possibly given the name Walnut. We were letting our other podcast decide, but I think we're going to go with that. I don't know. It sounds like the parents are holding him down and
electrocuting him or something. I'm really, I really like. I know that's not what's happening, but it honestly kind of feels.
Our building did give us permission to call the 9 emergency number, so maybe one day we will if it's really getting bad. But it stopped, so who knows what that means?
Yeah, I don't know. So
best of luck, Walnut.
Yeah, good luck to you. I don't hear your Cashew.
I know Cashew's been so quiet. It's really him now.
I wonder if they may send Cashew away to Grandma's. I don't know.
They cracked one nut, working on the other.
I don't know, but I wonder if they did send her away thinking they got to deal with this, so maybe let her stay with Grandma.
I don't know. We're theorizing about them.
It's not. Yeah, let's go back to the Housewives because Cashew and Walnut are as crazy as this.
They're more interesting than this episode.
Yeah, sadly, it could be true. So the best part of this episode was when Jennifer Fessler, the Fez, confesses to her affair with James Gandolfini. Now, granted, this gentleman has been gone for some years now, so there's nobody that can corroborate
confirm
this
or deny
it. I don't think she's a liar, though.
But it does seem a very Fez thing to do. Yes, like, it doesn't,
I
you know what I mean? I think if, like, any other one of them in the cast said this, I wouldn't have believed it. But the Fez, I believe it.
Yeah, I could believe
There's
it. There's
something about when she says something, I believe her.
I definitely believed her that, and they were all taken back, as any New Jerseyan would be, like, because that's like, that's, you don't get any closer than, like, he's like,
if you took New Jersey and put him in a person.
The Italian god of New Jersey, yeah, like that, you're just not gonna, that's like the best. So they pull up to the Ballin Loud Castle Ballin Loud Castle, which it like I kept saying this one, Ballin Loud, so they're ballin and they're loud. I don't know. Castle in Ireland, and everyone is afraid of the castle, and I wholeheartedly go along with them. The shit looks haunted.
You guys know I watched Dickinson. It looks like every room looks like it was taken out of that era of Dickinson.
Well, yeah, I think it is.
Probably.
It's meant to be.
Where do you even find sheets that look like that anymore? Like
Shabby Chic.
Who?
Shabby Chic. You don't remember when I liked Shabby Chic? I used to have a book and everything about it. It was an actual like design aesthetic, Shabby Chic.
And they sold
flowery beds, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll show it to you later. But they went through. I mean, look, I think each room was quaint and nice, and some of them I liked better than others. But
what's kind of like makes you go like a little like, is like they're all these old bedrooms, and then Jennifer Aydin's bathroom is like.
Yeah.
A new renovation.
However,
what happened?
However, I didn't see a shower. I only saw a handheld in her, the bathtub. But like the tub was kind of in the middle of the bathroom, in front of a bunch of windows.
They're in a castle though, by themselves.
Yeah, well, she looked like she was on the ground level, so I don't know.
So the gardener's gonna get a peek.
I don't know. It kind of looked like it. So yeah, they said so they picked out of the name and they were calling out the names of the different rooms.
Which, that's already kind of, to me, sign number one that something's weird. Why do these have names? Like, they're actual bedrooms of actual people. That's weird.
That's just, well, yeah, I think it was just something cute they did. I think they thought it was, like, cute. Quaint. But Teresa's room, basically, according to Melissa and Marge, has, like, a Rapunzel tower because it's connected to the...
Yeah, the side.
Yeah, the side or something. So she had, like, I think it was... Andy made a joke that, like, put her in the Rapunzel room, not knowing that she was going to end up, at her wedding looking like Rapunzel. And I'm like, well, nope.
I will say, though, on the trip, the person who packed the lightest to me was quite surprising. I just kind of made a guess here. Danielle.
Really?
She only had, like, maybe 2-3 suitcases compared to everybody else's, which not who I would think would pack the lightest.
I don't know what you're doing with all those clothes anyway. Crazy. It's just crazy. I heard Teresa say something. I didn't see.
Yeah, but you gotta keep in mind, they get dressed during the day to go out.
I know.
Then they get dressed to go at night. And then they gotta go to sleep. And then they gotta get dressed during the day.
I know, it's just ridiculous.
Night.
And then Melissa says she'll probably be sleeping with Marge or Jackie because she'll be
I'm gonna go with Marge
afraid.
because Marge has 2 beds.
But she said something that I thought was really weird, and for someone to be like who she is and that she misses her dad, she kind of said like if he were to come back and like come try to talk to me, I would be like no.
I guess it's just a weird.
But I can understand if it was like a strange
What the
person.
hell in the hallway again?
I don't know.
On our other podcast, they were literally throwing cables down the hall.
Yeah, it was some crazy stuff. She was saying something about like how she wouldn't want him to come visit her or something, and I'm like, well, it's your dad. Like I don't want no creepy ghost like in my aunt's house coming, but because that I don't know. But like if my mother were to come back or my father, you better be coming to see me. So I thought that was kind of weird. That like
she just might have an overall no ghost policy.
Yeah, but I mean honestly, this thing did whip along. Like it was like. Bougie kids on the plane, land, here we are, let's do the rooms. And then they're like settling down to go have like a snack or something, which those 2 girls that are hosting this event is going to be schooled in the best possible way that they'll be able to go out into America and be just fine because they look so innocent and so...
Dolores wouldn't even speak in front of them. You didn't hear that when she left. She's like, okay, now that they're girls gone. Have left...
Yeah, she was... Because I think she was trying to tell them while the girls weren't there, like... Please, and that's what I literally wrote. She's becoming the mother figure of this whole group. Like, she has taken charge of this whole group because Teresa is not in control anymore. She's definitely not in control.
I don't think she wants to be. I don't think she really cares about it
She's
anymore.
Not in control, and Dolores has picked up the reins, run with it.
Who's the oldest? Marge, probably, right?
I think so, yeah.
I would say Marge. And then I'd say Dolores, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, because...
Probably.
Yeah, because... Rachel Fuda and Danielle are the youngest. And then I'd say Melissa and Teresa are somewhat close.
Probably close to the same, yeah.
Jackie's younger.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe the Fez?
Maybe Fez is
But
close
if we're going
to
out of the main
age.
cast without friends...
I don't know if she's as old as Marge. She might be like somewhere between Dolores and her or something. But
out of main cast, Dolores would be next.
Oh, yeah. I think so. But I think she's just like... I have it that I think she's just... kind of over being crazy and being kooky.
Teresa?
No, Dolores. Like, I don't think, like, I think Dolores gets this, like, okay, there's a time and a place. It's not cute to do it here because these people are not going to understand what you guys are fighting or acting so foolish over. So that's why I think she felt compelled to be like, listen, while the girls aren't here, I just want to say, please, pull yourself together, act respectful, don't do,
Yeah, Dolores, though, has always naturally been, like, the Switzerland of the group in the middle. So it makes sense for her to almost be the leader and take charge and try to control the group. Almost like, I mean, I don't know if it's Heather Dubrow kind of in a sense. How she can kind of be like
where she knows, like, when it's right and wrong. You've pushed it too far. Yeah, you've pushed it too far type of stuff. Yeah, I agree.
But I think she'll still obviously throw down.
Oh, no. You're not getting away with crap, I don't think, with Dolores.
No.
And, of course, like, through this all, somehow it sparks the coffee cup talk once again. Yeah. Oh, because Dolores mentions, like, when we were talking about the coffee and Jackie was laughing and this, that, and the other thing, and then Jackie said she didn't want a reading. So that's how I think some of them weren't shown. I think they just didn't want a reading.
Well, no, but I get why Jackie said she didn't want one, because Jackie was supposed to go after they did the whole thing with Jennifer. So I guess she would have been the next person. So she's like, well, I don't want to know what you're going to say because it's probably going to be like a lie.
A lie, yeah.
But I don't know if Maybe Jackie's saying that they just finished it, but I don't know. I could see the Fez getting up being like, well, no, wait, what's mine? Read my cup.
Yeah.
Not caring,
Well, of course, that brings up the cup and the reading and that it was bogus, and everybody starts ganging up on Jennifer A. And, like, out of nowhere, well, I shouldn't say she comes clean, but they kept insisting that she must have talked to the person, and then I think she referenced Teresa saying, you've had readings by her and they were always good.
And she's known her for the longest time. That's how
and
she
then,
knows
of course, Teresa goes into it and says, I asked her something, and she
said like she had a conversation with her.
That you mentioned about your fight with her and Marge or something like that.
No, I think she just said Jennifer told her that she had had a conversation with the psychic before, and then that's where they
I think it was the psychic that told Teresa, because I think Teresa called to talk to her or something, and she said...
I thought she was talking with Jennifer, but...
I know it, and she said that she mentioned it, or
something
that she talked to her or something. And
but that's when Jennifer said she might have... The psychic asked, how's the group?
Am I walking into the lion's den or something?
Yeah, and then she said, no, I'm just kind of like having a little something with Marge.
And which I think if she ended it there, I think she would have been fine.
And her sit-down, see, this is the part that I liked, where she was like, I might have said it.
She said it to them, too.
No,
and
she did, but...
And I think that's why they allowed it. It was because she was like...
Well, maybe. Maybe I said it.
No, she's like... Well, I did tell her that, but I didn't say anything about the L name. And she said something else about saying the word, and then she's like, oh, did I? Said that word? Could I have used that word? It was late. It was 10 o'clock at night. And she said to them, it was very late. It was 10 o'clock at night. I was tired. I was losing it. I could have said I don't know what.
Yeah. So I think she just slipped up and doesn't remember.
Yeah, and I think she said, so I'm not going to say I didn't say it because it could be possible. Yeah. So I think that's when, like... Yeah.
You're going to take that and run with it, because here's my thing. You should have been a little less obvious, but that would have looked good for her business if she got something so... weirdly accurate.
But I would have said it differently so it didn't look too stupid. Like, now she looks stupid.
You can correct me if I'm wrong here, but Jennifer Eden's first thing before, she was like, oh, she's a psychic. Aren't psychics supposed to see the future, not like the present?
Yeah, but they call the coffee readers psychics, which I don't agree with, because I think that's totally different than... like predicting the future, reading coffee grounds. I don't get it. I don't get how they see anything in it.
The thing, but if she's a psychic, I always assume psychics see the future. Like they wouldn't know what's going on in Marge's life right now.
And she just, well, I think they can, but it's more for the future. But she just kept yelling, "She's a psychic. She's a psychic." Okay, great. And then somewhere along the lines, they bring up Laura again and what was said and this and that, and don't start spreading it. And Danielle. This is where I was starting to lose respect for her, because she pitched a fit when Jackie kept inquiring about what went on with her brother. Must be something. You know what it is. You should just tell us. Just share with us, because it sounds weird. And she was, how many parties did she leave? She left 2 parties. She got mad at like about a gazillion people. Yeah. And meanwhile, you literally hear her on the screen saying, I want to know. I want to know what was said by this girl, Laura.
I wonder if this was, though, kind of like her payback for them all doing that to her.
I mean, I think...
And not thinking...
I think it could have been, but I don't think she was thinking that way. I think she's just genuinely nosy.
Yeah, she looks
she's
nosy.
She's just nosy, and she's desperate to know what Marge's friend said to Jennifer Aiden. And she's going to... And I knew it. She's going to keep pushing her until she gets her to admit it.
Yeah.
And she
does. That's what I literally wrote.
because she keeps asking her, and then she comes back to the room, and she's like, she starts right up with the thing. I mean, well, I think Jennifer Aiden did start more talking about it, but she kept moving with it and was like trying to figure out what it was till she found out that they're claiming, which I heard that too, that they said that Melissa
I think they showed it in the trailer. Yeah. Somebody was saying
Melissa said that this was 5 years ago. This rumor came out 5 years ago about
That's why I think
rumor.
it is, because I think it's the rumor that always bring up about Melissa kissing that guy. It's the same one.
And she's like, I don't understand. And then she even said to Andy on Watch What Happens Live, she's like, I don't understand why we're still fighting about things that happened in like 2014. She's like, why am I fighting about stuff that happened so many years ago?
Yeah.
She's like, it's just ridiculous that we're still on that same topic. We haven't even shifted to something different. And they haven't, really. They really are on that same stupid
I think that's New Jersey's issue, is like they don't get off of that topic.
Nope.
Which I do feel like even sometimes with Beverly Hills they can get the same. And I think that was the downfall of New York, is that they could not move on from the same old stories. And listen, I always thought, in my opinion, New York was like one of those ones, like the big main franchises, they're not going to get canceled, that show. It's never going to get canceled. And look at New York now.
They're gone. I would have never thought that would have happened.
No. Even as bad as that season was, I would have thought they were going to give them another chance.
I thought they would have changed people out.
Never would have thought it's like gone. But, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't feel like they had enough. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter, because then you got, like we said, you got Teresa that's just giving up her friend sitting at the table, which I thought was hilarious. Yeah. Because they're all like, I think they were more dumbfounded by that like she just threw you under the bus.
Yeah.
And like rode over you.
This should be your thing, Jennifer Aiden. Get out, because she doesn't even care. She just threw you under the bus.
No,
like, how are you going to stand up for somebody? No, she didn't even have any realization. Nope. Like, I rolled her under the bus. Did I roll over something? I didn't feel it.
Yeah, no. Didn't feel it. She doesn't say anything, and it's just so weird. I was just watching these guys because I'm obsessed with the food. So I'm like, okay, who's going to be up there? Who's going to be getting the food? Of course, it was the Fez. She was, I'm going to get a plate. Let's get a plate. Like, trying to get people to start the line. And then I was trying to look at everybody's plate, like, to see, like, did they actually take food, or what did they do? No, they definitely took food, because people were eating, which I'm surprised, because they don't ever film them eating.
But it might have been because of the long flight.
Yeah, it could have been.
That's the only thing I think
they were like little like canopies or something. So like we said, Danielle finds out from Jennifer Aiden what the big secret was. So here's my thing. You wanted to know. Once she finds out, she's like acting like she's mortified. She can't handle it.
I don't want to know.
You wanted this so desperately that you asked her about 3 or 4 times, and you tracked her down to her room to ask her again.
Here's my thing, though. You have to think, though, if they're not saying it, it must be something bad. Why would you want to know then?
And the minute it gets said on air, it's out there now. Now it's out there because you just said it on air. So
it is just kind of, it's her fault at the end of the day for the reason why everybody knows, I guess, because she made Jennifer say it to her. I mean,
but she went into the whole thing that, like, which I think was the plan. Like, Teresa's mortified. She's so upset. That's why she says her brother's not happy, because this one's doing X, Y, and Z, which she's not, because when Andy asked Joe Gorga, like, what do you think of the rumor? Do you think that Melissa is, guilty of it? And, like, he just laughed out loud. He's like, no, of course not. I don't think she's guilty of it. He goes, I think somebody is just trying to grab a piece of scrap and run with it, which I kind of think they are too.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad. So they're going to go on a pub crawl.
Yeah. This is supposed to be like the bachelorette party?
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be like the bachelorette party where you go pub to pub to pub.
Well, Dolores said she was going to treat it as her own bachelorette party. But here's my thing. Dolores, you think that if you're going to get married to Paulie, that these girls are not going to let you have a bachelorette party?
No, somebody's going to have it.
Nobody's going to let that happen, so don't say you haven't had one.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. That's interesting. She was... Okay. Ooh, took out a whole line. Good thing I went back. I wasn't going to do it.
Oh, my God.
That would have been really bad. So I just thought, like I was saying, that it's ironic that she was doing a double standard, Danielle, by trying to get the information that had nothing to do with her. That whole thing.
Yeah.
And Jen A kept saying to her, yes, it's about somebody that we know, but like
you're not even really friends with Marge. No, you're not really friends with the Fez. You're not friends with this other girl.
Her, like, no, I really don't want to tell, but she kept pressuring. I knew if you pressure Jen Aiden, she's going to crack. She's going to come tell you.
Oh, well, yeah, I knew I knew, well, even so, but I knew Danielle wasn't going to give up till she got this.
She circles back around at dinner. So they're all coming down now that she got, we'll get to that in a minute, but Jennifer Aiden bought them sashes. And she said some of them were shady. I don't know who she gave the one that said mischievous or miss something. I don't know. I think it was Melissa and probably Marge. We would have to hazard a guess. Teresa comes down in this like white tutu number. I don't really know. It was like
I don't know.
It was like a cross between a Marilyn Monroe dress and If I Was a Ballerina. And it was all white. And I mean, it was nice for what she was doing with it. I get it. And they're all going to this pub crawl with extensive heels on. And Paulie told them,
no heels.
You're not going to want to do heels because it's going to be cobblestone. But God bless you. If you think you can do that, get away with it. Get away with it. But as soon as they're sitting down, I was wondering where she was going with this. You didn't hear Danielle? She's like, oh, does anybody send their husband like naughty? And I'm thinking, where are you going with this? Sure enough, there she goes. She swerves. And she's like, so, Melissa, do you think Joe would know the difference between, if I sent him a picture like here? I knew he was going to know the difference because it's Joe Gorga. He's not, God forbid, he's not going to do that. Sure enough, we don't really know for sure if
she didn't show what he said.
She didn't show the phone, but I'm sure he knew the difference. He's probably like, what the hell is that? But she starts already and she's like, oh, see, I feel so much better. Joe knows who her husband, Joe knows his wife and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, see, you were digging. You were doing, this was a dig
my thing is,
of sorts
what's
going to
happen in my opinion, Danielle is going to keep poking at this bear and she's going to slip up and mess up. And Melissa's going to question her at point, like, what's going on? And listen, Danielle, I get you said you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but you'll surely touch it with an 11-foot pole.
No, she'll touch it.
Keep going, girl.
She's going to touch it. And I think she's going to, because they kind of show like a little bit of something coming up like next week.
Yeah.
Where, I don't know, I'm assuming she's talking about Marge, and she's like going out like Marge or something like that. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to come out because of something Marge is going to do that's going to piss her off, and then she's going to say, do you know what it was that your friend was saying about, like, to Melissa? Do you know what your friend was saying?
Because it also, for her, when she was talking to Jennifer, she did say it confirmed, like, I don't know if it was when she was talking to her or in her sit down, but she basically kind of said to her, like, that this confirms to her that Marge has an arsenal on everybody.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure everybody does. I've already went over this with the Marge stuff. I'm sure everybody does. Just because you have an arsenal does not mean you're going to use it.
Yeah, I mean...
It's an arsenal. You're just prepared in case something goes
could be that people, you were fortunate enough and people like to come and talk to you.
Yeah, well, let me tell you this. I was the quiet one in school, and people would gossip to my friend, or they would think, well, she's not going to say nothing. So they'd sit in front of me talking about, I got a whole little arsenal in middle school and everybody in my school. I know that this one did this with this one's boyfriend, and that's not good. I shouldn't have known that information. I was the Marge of my school, but I never used it.
Thank God.
Well, but that would require me to talk, but that's a whole different thing.
Well, okay. So the Fez starts trouble.
Yeah, she does.
She's in trouble. I don't think sometimes I think when she does things, I don't think she's thinking it's going to go sideways, but that went sideways fast. She was asking them, like, so are you excited or something? Did you get your dresses or something like that?
Yeah.
And she said, somewhere along the line, somehow Teresa started with Melissa again. I forget what they said that started it, but she said something to the effect of like, oh, if you had just called me and told me, or Joe called me and told me about your mom, of course she would have been invited. But Melissa calls her out pretty decently, I have to say.
But you know what I love? It really hit me in this episode. When they refer to Melissa's mom, they don't just call her Melissa's mom. They call her Donna Marco. The whole thing. Donna Marco. Not just Donna.
I don't know why they do
Donna
that.
Marco.
I noticed that last week they were calling her that.
Donna Marco.
Like, that's kind of weird to me, but...
I just noticed that. I'm like, okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, but she started with her again, telling her she would have invited her if only she had called and told her that.
And she had invited other moms at this table, which
that
was like a...
Yeah, once again, it's just...
It was like a dig.
Yeah. And she's like, I would have had you in my wedding, and this, and she's like, no thanks, which again, I'm so glad that she is not going to be in that wedding. Well, first of all, she didn't go.
Yeah.
So, like, if you were already... I think it would have been so much worse if something happened that escalated this, which I'm sure it did. We don't really know yet what transpired. I'm sure we're
not even.
But the fact that you can walk away from that easier and look not as bad as if you were in the wedding party, because that does screw things up if they're not prepared for you to, like, why did you put these two in?
Yeah.
And I forget what she said. And she said, well, I was getting nervous because it was...
That's how she brought it back.
Yeah.
She brought it back to Melissa by saying, I was nervous putting them in there that they were going to get...
What was going to happen with my brother? Like, was he going to say something and stuff like that? And Melissa's like, no, you have other people, like other friends in there. Why would he care if you put them in there?
Yeah.
I think he's
Which I think, if anything, I mean, at least, you know, they are... Teresa is close with Dolores and Jennifer. But my favorite, too, is... Jennifer was trying to defend her. Teresa trying to help her out and defend her. And Teresa was like, no, I can fight my own battles. So now Jennifer, she's not helping you.
She kept trying to slip that in. I saw that. I heard that a couple of times.
She doesn't even want you to defend her. Girl, back away and get out. You could have the ultimate turnaround. Well, listen, I know some people do. You're either like Teresa and Jennifer. You really like them both and you hate everybody else. Or you like the other people and hate those two. I feel like we're kind of the hate those two. I wouldn't say hate. They have their moments.
I don't hate them, but they're just...
Sometimes it's too much. They're just too much.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have frantic energy.
Yeah, I don't
we don't do well with that. And it's just sometimes it's too far. And I think at this point it's just like Teresa just refuses to take fault for anything, and it's kind of getting old.
Yeah, it's definitely getting old. It's just like...
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I think she's so kooky that if they did switch to give her like a family show, now I will say if they gave her like a Kardashian style show, I think it should be on Peacock. I don't know if it would be like a Bravo worthy show.
It could.
I think it would be a Peacock original.
They're kind of putting all the newer stuff on Peacock, but do you think some of those things come like the next...
Not the next day, but I know the girls' trip, they do end up airing it on Bravo, like, later on.
Yeah.
So, they could air it later on. Like, it could be a first on Peacock, aired later on Bravo. What does it matter, though? We have Peacock, so...
Yeah,
it wouldn't matter for us. I mean, I would still watch that show of hers. It's not like I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't feel like she jives with the cast.
He's eating the cardboard box. Coopy, don't do that. Cooper.
He just ate real food.
Yeah, but now he's got to floss.
All right. Well, Cooper's dead eating the box, but we're also done here. Yeah. I mean, you know, we did pull a bunch of stuff to talk out, but here's my thing. It's really...
I know. I'm like...
It's feeling a little bit like
it's flat.
New York.
Yeah, it's a little flat. It's a little flat when I don't want it to be.
I know. Here's my thing. Even New York, at least it's in its final season, wasn't that bad. A lot of people, I think, just overhated it. Don't get me wrong. It was bad, but it wasn't horrible. Like, people, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to give it a rewatch. I haven't watched it in a while, but I don't think it was as bad. But this is just kind of like,
Yeah, I hear you.
Because, I mean, I think the issue is, too, we know there is no resolve as of now. Like, they're nowhere near better. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
kind
I
of
hope it gets better. I do, because
yeah,
I mean, I know even a couple of the folks that I'm watching on different podcasts that talk about it. It's rough.
Yeah,
they're struggling. Even the girls' trip, they're struggling like to put stuff out to make it like interesting, or because you can't.
Don't let us down, please.
Oh my God,
Please,
hope so.
Tamara, don't.
Well, I mean, it should be good just in general, just because she's coming back. Heather's there.
You have Tamara, you have Shannon, you have Vicky. Taylor's there now. Like, it's got an interesting group that I think even if they don't have an interesting story...
He looks so
I'm holding Cooper, by the way.
He looks so miserable.
I think even if OC doesn't have an interesting story, I think they have an interesting enough cast.
Yeah.
That you could, like, there are that kind of cast that you could watch.
But I think that's also what's saving New Jersey, is that I think... Like, Fezla's interesting. Like, at least some of the chatter
I know the new girls are interesting.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that they're saying is at least interesting. So that's, I think, what's saving them.
I think I wouldn't go as far to, like, cancel New Jersey like they did with New York. I'd give them a refresh. Maybe take some people off, see how the show does. If it does bad, then put them back on. Something like that. Give them a little refresh. But that is all, guys.
We gotta go. I gotta go get the litter.
Let us know what your thoughts are so far in this season, because we kind of are at the halfway point here. Still working on Vanderpump. I'm currently probably halfway to being caught up, but I'm hearing rumors that it's going to be out in May. Mm-hmm. So I gotta really speed up here so we can get. I think I'll do it. I think that's all. Make sure you.
We got a purr over here, so we gotta wrap it up.
Make sure if you're on YouTube, you give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve. subscribe, follow, turn on notifications so you don't miss any episodes. On Mondays, we upload Ultimate Girls Trip.
Yeah.
And we do New Jersey every Saturday. Also, we have our other podcast, We Talk About It All, where we talk about it all, and we post those every Friday.
Yep. We talk about just about, I don't know. Look at that sky out there. Holy moly. It's like orange against those brown trees. That's pretty nice.
All right, that's all. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, it will be better.
Oh, we can only hope. Oh, and there's the sirens.
Oh my God, they're coming for us.
Time to go. I got you, Coop. Relax. Okay, you better hit the button now before they get us.